Okay, this is Mr. Peterson, and we're reviewing for the Honors Algebra 2 Chapter 4 test. These are example or model problems. The first two problems on your review ask you for the dimensions of a matrix and for a specific element, so I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So we put 5 rows, and there are 3 columns. So there's 5 rows and 3 columns. So 5 by 3 matrix is how you answer that question. Then it looks, we want to find this element or that specific number. Now you'll notice that I've corrected what your review has. Your review has a capital letter in this position here. It should be a lowercase letter. So B sub 3, 2 is the element that's on the third row. That would be 1, 2, 3. That'd be that last row right there, or the third row down from the top, and it's in the second column from the left. So that would be the 2. That element B sub 3, 2 is that 2. Third row, second column, and you always start counting from that corner. Okay, the next couple problems here, 3 or 4 problems, have a variety of operations. The first one here on number 3, we're going to be adding these two matrices. And when you add matrices, you just do it corner by corner by corner. So we're going to do the 3 plus the 8 to get our new top left-hand corner of 11. And then I'll switch to -5 plus -1, which would be -6. And we're going to go with, in the bottom left-hand corner, let me change to a different color here. 4 plus -6 would be -2. And finally, in the last corner, which I'll do in let's do an orange. 10 plus 3 would be 13. So that's how you add matrices. And you should know that adding matrices and subtracting matrices requires them to be the same size. So on the next example, where you have a 2 by 1 matrix and you're trying to add it to a 2 by 2 matrix, you're not going to be successful. This is undefined. Excuse me. Okay, on number 5, you have a scalar, just a plain old number, and you're multiplying it by a matrix. And this feels like a distributive property. We're actually just going to multiply all of these numbers by -1/2. So I don't think I did a good job with that, so let me try again here. -1/2 times a 6 would be -3. -1/2 times 3 is -3/2. -1/2 times -8 is 4. -1/2 times 4 is -2. -1/2 times -2 would be +1. And the last one is going to give 7/2. Okay, multiplying matrices is a little harder. So what we're going to do here is we're going to divide the rows. Well, first we have to see if it'll work here. We have a 2 by 2, and we're multiplying by a 2 by 3. Since the number of columns in the first one matches the number of rows, we know we can do it, and our answer is actually going to be 2 by 3. You separate the rows in the first one, and you separate the columns in the second one. And so this is how you show your work on these. You set it up like this. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing here is highlighting the top row, and I'll use it for all 3 of those positions across the top. But you first use the left-hand column, and when you multiply the left number times the top, you get 8. The next pair gives -3. So in our answer, we're going to have a 5 in that corner. Okay, let me get my eraser out here and move to the next position. This is in the top center. So I'm going to use the top row in the center column this time. And that'll get me 2 times -1 would be -2. And then here you get 6. for a grand total of 4 in that position. And then we keep moving across here. When you move to the top right over here, you're going to use the top and the right. So first pair of numbers, 2 times 8 is 16. And negative 3 times negative 3 is plus 9. So that'll give 25. Okay, now we'll move to the bottom position. And that requires us to use these numbers 4 and 1. And when you multiply it by the left-hand column, the pairs are 4 times 4 would be 16. And when you move over and down, you get 1 times 1 would be 1. So that's a 17 for that corner. Okay, moving to the center column, we would start out with 4 times that top number, negative 1, which is negative 4. And 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So you get a negative 6 for that center one. I kind of obliterated that middle. Okay, the last position here is in the bottom right. Bottom right, so we're going to use the bottom and the right. And the first pair, 4 times 8 is 32. And the next pair gives minus 3, so that last number is 29, and we have our final answer. Okay, so at this point, let's see if I have enough. Okay, I'm going to leave off there and pick up on number 7 in the next video.